Hey, this is Paul at Paul Component Engineering. Today I'm going to talk about a frame and a bike that I made a while back. We'll talk about a little bit about its history, and it's maybe an idea that was before its time, and it's maybe still before its time. So when I first moved to Chico, I got a job at Mountain Goat, which is one of the unsung heroes of developing a mountain bike back in 88 and 89. Learned how to build frames, started my company. My dream was to make bike parts. That got going. And then about 1996, we came out with a derailleur, and suddenly we were famous. We were huge. We could do no wrong. And then 3 years later, Shimano XTR came out, and we basically were dead. And so I'm scrambling around. It's me, it's a girlfriend at the time, it's one employee, we got one machine, we are barely hanging on. I get my 2 dimes that I have to rub together, and I splurge, and I think, hey, the other thing that I think would be cool is to have like a Mercedes of a commuter bike, where it's high end. People are going to dig it. We're going to get all these rich people to spend money on these commuter bikes, and then they're not going to be driving cars, and bikes are going to save the world. And wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great if that happened? That obviously has not happened yet. Maybe someday, folks. So I built this frame, and this was sort of a Torker style, which is a BMX bike with twin top tubes. I had just started making flatbeds, because I really wanted to lose money badly, and all I had was time, so super labor intensive. But this one is attached to the frame, which was kind of freaky riding it, but kind of fun. Custom head badge, which was also held the basket on. This is what's called an IBIS hot unit. This had a thermos that came with it, and the thermos, long gone, I think. I don't know where it is. Went with a single speed because we had just started making single speed hubs, and basically that's what was keeping us alive. And back then single speeders were dirt poor, so we were just barely alive, but we were the only people doing it, so that was cool. And then I thought I'd get some more attention if it had disc brakes, because they were just happening. These are some Hayes super early disc brakes, basically the first commercially available disc brake you could buy, and they are on some really funky mounts. This is an IS in front. This is was a flat mount, a precursor to the Shimano flat mount, and it was designed to mount right here, but I attached it to these 2 eyelets, and I took this bike. It was a complete bike, had fenders that fit really nice to the tires. Everything was built as one. And Rivendell was just sort of getting going back then, so this whole, that whole kind of bespoke thing it was all, Interbike was pure racing. There wasn't an eyelet in the entire show floor. So I brought it to Interbike thinking, wow, I'm going to blow all these people's minds, and I got a gigantic yawn. Nobody understood it. Nobody knew what to do with it. Now, we had the North American Handmade Bike Show, which is huge, which we just got back from. Full of these bikes. They are all sort of still hobby things. There's some commuters in there. It hasn't taken off like I was hoping, and may not see it in my lifetime, but maybe in years, you youngsters. If I were to do this bike again, and maybe someday I will, who knows? First of all, I'd put gears on it, because gears are nice to have, especially if there's hills. Chico's totally flat for the most part, so you only need 1 gear if you choose wisely, but gears, of course, we make a lot more parts now. We make seat collars, we make brakes. I would use American-made, probably White Industries hubs, cranks, and headset. And I would make it rideable. This, did not mention, got it painted, took it to Interbike, it's in a rush, everything was crazy back in those days. Finally got home, took it for a ride. Anything above walking speed the front end just was like this, just it was totally unrideable. And so this entire project was a gigantic, huge learning process. I had tons of fun with it. I'm still very proud of it. Not a resounding success financially, but every once in a while I get the urge to do it again. We'll see what happens. Anyways, thanks for listening. That's my take on one of my projects from way back.